Everyone, this is Elena, and today I'm back with another card reader for you, showing you how to make this color layering orchid card, not orchid but hibiscus card. So I'm going to be using my mini Misty to stamp the images that I've already die cut using the coordinating die, and I'm using the negative from the images to line up each individual layer and stamp them. Usually when I use the Misty stamping tool, I stamp a bunch of images, so I have a future use when I need a quick card and I don't have the time. So I'm first inking the first layer, the most solid layer with the lightest color, and I'm using the Jane's collection, like the from the new color layering ink cubes from Hero Arts. They're available at the A to Z scrapbooking store on Etsy. So the first one is soft peach. So I'm gonna stamp I have 11 images, 11 die cuts that I did. So I'm just gonna use a couple of each, but I'm just showing you how to stamp, how I'm stamping 3 of them and then kind of turn it off and continue stamping off camera so you're not bored watching me stamp 11 images. So I have those ready. And next I'm positioning the second layer, and I'll pick it up with the lid of the Misty. And the next color from that same ink cube set is the pale tomato. So I'm stamping that layer with pale tomato, and I'm gonna stamp all of those large hibiscus flowers using that ink cube. And those ink cubes are perfect for stamping with the Misty, so you don't have a lot of ink left on smeared on your Misty lid. So I have those ready. I'm kind of that negative, I'm positioning it so it's lined up and it's stamped perfectly, and I have secured it with the magnets. So there's my next one. So next I'm going with a third layer, and this is the last layer for the flower. We have another layer, but that's like the center of the flower. This is for the flower petals. So next I'll pick it up with my lid, and I'm gonna use the darkest, the red royal, to stamp that layer. First I'm stamping onto my scrap paper on the bottom to make sure that everything is lined up perfectly before I go stamp onto my actual die cut flowers. So you can see how those flowers are getting dimension using all those ink cubes, and the new cubes are great because you're taking out the guesswork from which colors coordinate with each other, and those are specially made for this color layering hibiscus stamp set. So there we have those, and next I'm layering the center. I'm positioning the center, and I'm gonna pick it up with the lid like I did for the previous layers, and then I'm using the darkest ink cube from that, and this is a new color, it's called Cocoa. So it's not available at it's a normal size ink pad, just as cube in this collection. So if you want that one, you need to purchase all of them, and they're a great value. So, and then I'm stamping all the centers. And now we have all those flowers completed. Next I'll be moving on to, and I'm a little bit speeding it up because I'm repeating the same process and the same colors for the smaller hibiscus flower. So I'm again stamping on that scrap paper on the bottom, lining up, and usually when I do this I use like cardstock instead of the Misty pad because it's more sturdy and it doesn't move when I pull up the stamp. So I have all of those. I'm stamping those one by one. And then third one. So I have all of those stamped now. Now I'm going to move to the next layer. And I'm going to use again the pale tomato for the second layer like I did for the larger hibiscus flower. So kind of inking and stamping, kind of repeating the process again. So and then in the process I'm trimming that negative so it fits nicely, doesn't go over the ends of the Misty. So I don't need to reposition it every single time that I stamp, so it fits nicely in that uh, kind of bedding, for lack of a better term, of the Misty. So I have the second layer stamped. Now I'm positioning the third layer, and again I'll be using the red royal for this. So I'm positioning that and picking it up with the lid of the Misty, and then stamping onto the scrap cardstock at the bottom to make sure it's positioned nicely. So and then I'm gonna stamp all of those layers, and I will do the same for the center of the flowers. I'm gonna use again the cocoa ink cube. So I have I kind of am very perfectionist. I'm trying to line up everything kind of to be in the middle and perfectly lined up. So next is the center. So I'm positioning that one, removing my previous stamp, and I'll stamp again with that cocoa ink cube. I really like how this shade of brown ink that I came up with. So and then the last one, not really the last one, but the last one for the camera before I went off camera and stamped the rest. So I have now all the flowers stamped, the small and the large. So I'm going to put those aside, and next I'll stamp the leaves. So first I'm going with the large leaf, and I'm going to use the green apple hybrid ink for the first layer, and the leaves are actually only two-step stamps. They're not four like the flowers. So I'm going to stamp all the leaves using the same principle, the same technique. So and again I'm just stamping 3 on camera, and the rest I'm stamping off the camera. So next I'm layering the second layer and the last layer of that like skeleton of the leaf, and again positioning my negative from the die cuts and stamping each one using the forest green. So I'm kind of again trimming a little bit off because it went like a little bit over the edge, and I didn't really like that in particular. So next I'm stamping all the leaves with the second step using the darker green. So we have those, and next the smallest leaf, and I'm repeating the same principle. I kind of move that negative more to the left, so when I position it over it, it kind of doesn't make sure that it doesn't go over the edges of the Misty. So now I'm stamping all the solid images for that leaf, and the next will be the second step. So I'll position that on top and pick it up, and then I'm using again the same forest green, and I'm gonna stamp all of the smaller leaves with that. So this pretty much ends all the stamping. So I'll end up with a bunch of images already die cut and stamped for future use. So next I'm just having like all these like panels, and I'm gonna stamp the Grateful Sentiment. I'm using the vintage ombre rust ink to stamp the sentiment, and usually I stamp bunch, so again I save for future use when I don't have enough time to stamp and I need a quick card. So with the magic of YouTube, I have already die cut that panel, and now I have all the images, and I'm gonna kind of position where I want them to be, kind of make a sketch for my card. So I'm adding all the leaves and kind of see if I like the design. Then I decide to change those leaves on the bottom left. So I think I like that, and I'm transferring to the real panel. So I'm adhering them with, I'm popping the flowers onto dimensionals, and I'm adhering the leaves with regular kind of flat adhesive under the flowers. So I have the flowers, now I'm adhering the leaves. And we have, we're almost done here. So there is my panel, the main image, the focal image of my card. And next I'm using Desert Storm Nina cardstock as my card base. I'm scoring it at half and folding it. Next I'm going to use some 3M mounting tape. I'm popping like the flowers. I'm putting more dimensionals so they're dimensionals underneath. Because I didn't have all the petals, I wanted to make sure that first I had the leaves adhered underneath. So they would not be stuck with the dimensionals. So next I'll use some foam adhesive tape on the back of my focal panel to adhere it onto my Desert Storm card base. So there we have that. And here we're pretty much done. I'm just adding a couple sequins to add a little bit more sparkle to my card. And I'm using the Pico embellisher to adhere them. So it's kind of clear adhesive as well. It can use like kind of glossy accents, but it's a little bit more liquid, and it has fine point. So that's the card. Thanks for watching, and see you soon with another video. Bye!